Hey, look. It's better than Mattel. Oh, come on. I'm just giving you a hard time, Mattel. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo. And it's another week of action figures. There you go. How's that for an intro? We're in between big cons that have reveals, but there's still a hell of a lot of news. How does that work? And why am I spending more and more money? It's crazy. Like, first up, why do I do this to myself? I don't know Street Fighter. I don't collect this line, but if I did know, I would say something like, here is the Bandai SH Figuarts Street Fighter Sagat. Yup, new Street Fighter figure. Now, if you watch this enough, you know that I watched over a lot of shoulders at Street Fighter, and I lost a few matches, but I never really wanted to play much. So looking at this, I feel like, is Sagat a little bit short compared to Ryu? Don't get me wrong, without going with exact stats and everything, he's larger, but he's not as big as I've seen in other toy lines or even pictures of the game. But he has a very cool look to him. I mean, overall, I always liked Sagat's just shorts, strong, scars. Comes with a couple of heads, or at least some kind of swappable face features. He has the straight mean face, and then he has the gritting mean face. Sagat, your emotional range is amazing. And then, of course, extra hands and an effect piece. But it is a Soul Web exclusive, so you'll have to go to the third-party sellers. It's going to run you about $78, and it releases in April of 2020. But only somebody that would know things would tell you all that, and that's not me. Moving on. We pretty much knew all the characters that were going to be in the next assortment of the Hasbro Star Wars Black series, but we didn't know the exact case pack out. That changed this week when retailers like Dorkside Toys put the cases up for sale. Or at least pre-order. There's 2 Ceremony Lukes, which I'm cool with because I need a Ceremony Luke and I need a Marvel Comics Luke in case I can't get that European exclusive version in the nice box with the extra accessories. There's 1 Wedge from A New Hope, there is 1 Cara Dune from The Mandalorian, 1 Janna, and 1 Jet Trooper from the new movie coming up, Rise of Skywalker, and then reissues of the Sith Trooper and Rey that we just got in the Force Friday assortment. The new movie's coming out, they gotta keep Rey, and I guess they're pushing the Sith Trooper hard for the new movie. Because the second assortment of Rise of Skywalker is due out late November, early December, and like I said, it's up for pre-order at Dorkside Toys. But that's not all from Black Series. GameStop has listed a reissue of the Imperial Shock Trooper that came out, how many years ago? Whenever Battlefront was released. This was a Walmart exclusive. It was kind of a pain in the ass to find. And while I'd prefer a clone Shock Trooper that was actually seen in the movie, I may pick up an extra 1 or 2 of these because, I don't know, I love the Stormtrooper and I love the red markings. And you don't have to wait long. Jonathan Childress sent this picture along that he actually picked one up yesterday at his local GameStop, and on the website it lists one of my local stores as having some stock, which is a rare occasion. But if you don't have a GameStop, like I said, it's listed on the site. It's listed as in stock right now. Go get it. We just found out about the new Transformers Earthrise figures at New York Comic Con a couple weekends ago, and they're already up for pre-order. Hell, we're already getting package shots. Back up to Siege, Astro Train, package shot. He's looking kind of small in there because you can kind of tell you've seen a lot of figures in this packaging, and Astro Train being a little bit, whoop, he's not going to fit the whole Decepticon army inside of him. Oh, that sounds dirty. Adult collectibles. But I'm still good. He still looks badass. I need an Astro Train. Grapple will be a new color for my Transformers shelf since I've only been doing Siege, and even then, I haven't been picking up everything, but it's Grapple. He's G1. I'm gonna need him. But the real kick in the nuts, which I say lovingly, Hasbro, don't forget that, is Starscream. Oh, Starscream, you evil bastard. It looks like a great upgrade to the one I already have and love. How does that happen? So I guess I need a couple of Starscreams and then 3 or 4 Optimus Primes, and you know they're gonna reissue Megatron. I didn't even want to collect this line. God dang. Last Friday night, I was just hanging out in the toy room, looking at stuff on the shelves, you know, like any other great action-packed Friday night, and Hasbro sent along an email revealing their Marvel Legends Gamerverse Iron Man. The email said that it was revealed earlier in the day, but there wasn't anything that happened earlier that day, so maybe I missed something, but the email was welcome because I'm always down for looking at promotional shots of new action figures. It's Stark's look from the upcoming Avengers video game, which, I don't know, you look at some of it and it looks a little bit generic, but it's a new Iron Man. Iron Man in so many new hats and flavors. Gotta catch 'em all, Iron Man. The look is there. I mean, again, it's Iron Man, and the metallic colors are just, I hope that carries over into the final product. But are those 3D print lines on the legs and arms and in places, or is that like that in the actual game? Also, there was a perfect cut spot for a ball joint in the torso. This is how a ball joint works. But instead we get a hinge with a waist joint, which kind of cuts into the overall design of this. The press release doesn't say anything about this being exclusive to a store, so I'm thinking this isn't Fan Channel, this isn't gonna be at Best Buy or PetSmart or whatever. I'm thinking this may be an actual wave, because with no Avengers movies next year, they may use the game as a jumping off point to give us more Avengers. Now, I'm not saying the whole wave will be based on the video game. It may be comics, it may be other movie stuff. But this seems like a good platform to, hey, here's more Avengers, since we don't have a major media event happening. $20 will be available spring 2020, somewhere in there. Say what you will about Fortnite, and y'all do. There's nothing wrong with that. If you don't like it, that's cool. But you have to admit the action figures coming out of McFarlane and Jazzwares are fun as hell. And McFarlane has started to kill it with the monster type characters, which I like even better because I can fudge those into my 6-inch display since they're 7-inch. To me, not knowing the characters from the game or never playing the game, it's just like, oh, look at that big guy. He can run behind, he can be a lackey for this character, he can be just background fodder, he can be beat up by the heroes over here. Perfect. It works. This week, McFarlane officially revealed their Beast Mode Rhino and Jackal, which I guess technically is human-type characters in armor. But I'm still calling them monsters because they can be used as bruisers or something. No, that's not an excuse to buy more Fortnite figures. I don't have a problem. You have a problem. Okay, how about Nighthair? Monster enough for you? This guy is awesome looking, but a little bit scary. I kind of feel like this is Bugs' worst nightmare. These were the only 3 characters announced on the McFarlane site, but if you flip the packaging shots around, you can see that they accidentally revealed Hybrid too, which I feel like should have been revealed here because the next day, Hybrid was actually posted on Amazon for pre-order. And there, we got pretty promotional shots. Works out. A lizard man with an armored left arm, some throwing stars, a pirate gun, a weird-looking scythe. You can see what I mean? It's just fun. It's just wacky, wacky fun. And while I skipped McFarlane's first offerings of gliders, which essentially look like just gliders, the next glider looks to be way more exciting. In fact, you could probably use the Frostwing glider as another character in your display. A winged demon of some kind, because it actually looks like there's some articulation in some places. Maybe just cut joints, but maybe the head, jaw, some limbs, the wings. How well does it move? How big is it? I don't know, but we don't have to wait too long because it's announced that these will be released before the end of the year. Another line I don't know much about is NECA Aliens. I know a little bit about Aliens. I've seen the movies. It's been a while. But when it comes to the toy line, boy, NECA just pow, 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 pump, pump, pump. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. It's just I can't keep up, especially as someone who doesn't collect aliens. But this Kenner Tribute Rhino alien kind of does the same thing for me as the Fortnite line does. It's a big monster type that I can use anywhere on the shelves because it's just a badass articulated piece of plastic goodness. But you can't have a new alien without someone to fight it, and to continue the theme of Kenner inspired, NECA also announced a Drake, another human type marine to go with the rest of your marines, because the whole line is aliens and marines fighting each other. I said I don't know, okay? Both are set to release early 2020. But keeping with NECA for a second, they were kind enough to send us some review samples of the upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Target 2-packs. Boy, that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Target 2-packs. Including 2 packs of the Turtles in brighter colors, a 2-pack of Foot Soldiers, and then, most exciting, is the Rocksteady and Bebop 2-pack. They sent them to photographer extraordinaire Matt K, and he shot the hell out of these things. I look at these pictures thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to find these. If you missed this feature on the Fwoosh front page, go now. Go look. I'll sit here and wait. Or you could just pause the video and then restart it when you get back. That's probably better. Let's do that. Haha, pretty awesome, right? I like how NECA split them up this time. If you want the Turtles, you just buy 2 2-packs. If you want Army Build Foot Soldiers, you buy the 1 2-pack. If you want Rocksteady and Bebop, you just buy that 2-pack. So it kind of negates some of the griping I've seen online, I know, of people giving NECA shit for re-releasing the Turtles again. Saying they're happy with the ones they already have, or the ones from San Diego Comic-Con. They should have done something else. Here, I've got a little secret for you. Come here. Come here. These aren't for you. Some of y'all just have to realize that companies and toy lines aren't gonna just rotate around your own personal wants and needs. I know, it's crazy. Because one, re-releasing the Turtles give collectors who missed out on the first go-around a chance to actually have Turtles. But they're also in brighter colors for suckers like me who will buy them again just because they look different. And two, re-releasing the same molds in different colors also allows NECA to build up some money, some reserves, to give us new characters like Casey and April, who you're bitching about right now, not getting right now. That's who you'll get later because of the re-releases. But we can admit the hardest one to find here is gonna be Bebop and Rocksteady, because that's the one every collector will be after. NECA has announced that these will be on the Target website, but I don't know if that eases my mind any. I still feel like they will be hard to get. I'm already getting the toy sweats just thinking about hunting these down. You remember Astrobots? I somehow never got one, even after talking about it several times, but Apollo and Argus are getting a re-release. Astrobots made that announcement at last week's Taipei Toy Festival, where they were there showing off some cool stuff. But before that, Apollo and Argus is only going to be available from certain retailers. In Asia, it's available at Falcon's Hangar, at Planet Steel Express, and Upgrade Commander. In Europe, it's Art Toys and Kapow. And then in North America, it's ages 3 and up, Anime Extreme, Big Bad Toy Store, I lost my place, The Toy Source, Toy Dojo. On top of that, the new additions to the line are looking pretty sweet. I think we already knew about Artemis and Athena, but female robots to go along with Apollo and Argus? Hell yeah, bring them on. But there are also drones being developed. Well, okay, not so much drones. They're calling them drones, but they're more like multi-purpose accessories. Tarantula and Wasp both have 2 drone modes each. One is a lithe, weaponized looking form, and the other one's bigger, bulkier. I don't know the difference really, but they look different. Both have dual pistol modes that can be used by the Astrobots themselves, but it seems like it doesn't use the whole bot. But I think my favorite modes for them are the backpacks for the Astrobots. Wasp turns into a flight pack of some kind, and Tarantula transforms into, don't say transforms, it GoBots into, it changes into a gunner pack of some kind, and it absolutely makes the Astrobots look odd. It just weapons them up. And then there's this big bastard. Well, it seems like a big bastard. When I first looked at it, I was like, ooh, that's gonna be huge. But looking at it in the case, it's a smaller bot in a larger exoskeleton of some kind, but even that is only slightly larger than Apollo's 7-inch size. And then finally, Apollo had an exclusive colorway for the Taipei Toy Festival in kind of these neon-looking colors. I like them a lot, but I'm not sure I like it as much as the original paint job on them. But if you're interested in that, it seems to be up for order and in stock right now on Pia Club? This one. Speaking of badass mechanical type figures, and I can already hear it, War Machine is an armor, while Astrobots are robots, 2 completely different concepts. Shut up. A comparison shot with the upcoming... I've tried this 600 times. A comparison shot of the upcoming Amazing Yamaguchi War Machine with the already released Amazing Yamaguchi Bleeding Edge Iron Man was posted on Twitter this week. I did it! And Rhodey is appropriately larger, but not just blown out of proportion. He's a little bit taller, he's a little bit broader, he's a little bit bulkier, and it looks perfect next to this Iron Man. In fact, just like this Iron Man, this War Machine may be my end-all, be-all version of this character. And like I've talked about with some of the upcoming releases, Revoltech continues to evolve a little bit away from the kind of gappy look that you got with earlier Amazing Yamaguchi figures into articulation that's a little bit more integrated into the overall piece, especially in neutral position. You remember Deadpool and Spider-Man and maybe Magneto, Captain America, you put them standing straight up and down and it is kind of a mess. And it looks like the weapons are interchangeable between the 2 figures. I see that missile array hanging over Iron Man's shoulder. War Machine is set to release in February after this month's Optimus Prime. There's another one. And then December's Harley Quinn. In fact, it's almost time to announce a new character in this line, right? The Action Force Kickstarter has begun again. If you haven't had a chance to look at the video I posted last night where I got to mess with some of the resin outputs for Condor and Eclipse from the Action Force line, go check that out. Sure, I couldn't play with it, but it gave me a good idea of what articulation's like, what the sculpt is like. The size is going to be a little bit smaller. You have to remember that, so it's going to fit better into your 6-inch lines when it's finally released. And I say that with a fair amount of confidence because this go-around, the Kickstarter is a little bit more stripped down. It's starting out with the 3 characters of Condor, of Bone Collector, and then Steel Brigade, along with a $10 weapons pack that I'm going to need for my Deadpools and my Punishers and my Bullseyes and whoever else needs guns, and a $12 backpack pack. The funding goal is $99,000 with stretch goals of $20 troopers and $10 accessory packs and more characters like Swarm and Eclipse and Karak. I think it's totally doable. The Kickstarter started this morning. It runs for 30 days. And let's see where this goes. Let's get some 6-inch military top figures. Finally, and I mean finally in several different ways, we finally get the solicitation for the Mezco 1/12 Collective Marvel Black Bolt and Lockjaw. We've been waiting for these bad boys to go up for pre-order since it was first seen at whatever show. It seems like it's been forever. I've been waiting for Lockjaw since I was 2 years old, which was only a few years ago. I'm not that old. Ever since it was shown, everybody who's a fan of Lockjaw has been foaming at the mouth. Dog joke. Tip your waitresses. All of yous. But I guess that's the aspect of this set that I've been focused on all this time. When are we getting Lockjaw? How am I getting Lockjaw? Is it coming in a set? I need Lockjaw. Give me Lockjaw. But you know what? Seeing these pics of Black Bolt, he's kind of a badass in his own right. The costume is awesomely Mezco-fied, kind of bringing that old classic black spandex with electric lines on it into the modern age. Now, classic fans, calm down. I'm not saying that look sucked or anything, or this one's better. I have several figures of that classic costume already. But for the Mezco line, oh, it's a nice addition. I mean, just the overall look with its breaks and its different sheens, it's just visually appealing after so many years of looking at just a black costume. So in the back of my mind, I've always considered this kind of a Lockjaw set with a bonus Black Bolt, but now looking at these pictures, I think they're both equally awesome additions to my shelf. I mean, seriously, I'm not a fan of screaming heads as a general rule, but this actually looks like a dude screaming instead of, you know, just the neutral face and they open the mouth a little bit. This has the lines, it has the eyes closed a little bit. It looks like there's some power behind it. Also on that head, a nice little attention to detail with the powered up tuning fork. It just adds a little something else along with the power effect. And speaking of tuning forks, they're saying the one on Lockjaw's forehead actually lights up. The way it looks right now, it looks like a solid plastic piece. Maybe it'll be a little bit more translucent in the final product. I don't know how that's going to work, but hey, extras are extra. I'm good. Also, will the base have 2 holes in it to accommodate both the figure stand and the effect stand, so you could use both at the same time? Did any of those burning questions stop me from pre-ordering? Hell no! It's $130, which seems like a lot, but that's a big honking piece of plastic with a regular figure. In fact, it works out to $80 for Black Bolt and $50 for Lockjaw. That seems fairly appropriate for Mezco 1/12 Collective. And then it's scheduled to ship sometime June to August of 2020. Why does that seem so far away? I want my toys now. That's it for... And good lord. And that's it for this week. Just so much stuff to spend our money on. Also, you like the t-shirt? It was generously provided by TAXHF, which I've been seeing this shirt for a while. I mean, why wouldn't I notice it when other people are wearing it? It's a damn Marvel Legends Sentinel in pieces, which is amazing. But it was a white shirt, and I live in the country, my friends. I walk outside, have to come back in, take a shower. But when they finally got a black shirt version, no, I was all over it. You can follow them at several places, and the pre-order for the black shirt is going to run from October 15th to November 15th. I mean, it's Toy Biz Sentinel. Psh. As always, all the pictures that I show in this video will be available on the Fwoosh front page tomorrow at noon. You get a closer look at stuff, you get me out of the way, and you just enjoy toys. And then all the links will be there too. If you want to go, you know, pledge to a Kickstarter or pre-order something over here or learn more about this because I totally forgot about it or something, front page tomorrow. But if you enjoyed this Fwoosh Weekly, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on Fwoosh.